Hey everybody, it's Kevin. Happy New Year, January the 1st, 2021. A couple of minutes late, sorry. I did my meditation, well, a little chat this morning with Spirit. Don't know what else to say. About what to deliver today, what to say, what message, just in general. I like to tune in and clue in. Here's why. Yesterday afternoon, I found myself getting into a bit of a funk. Um, Nothing happened. There was no major event. There was no catastrophic anything that happened that I haven't experienced before. Yes, I got disappointed. I allowed a situation that I was disappointed about to get under my skin. And that happens. I think it's real. When it happens, I feel it. I feel it physically. It's annoying. It's irritating. And there's nobody to blame. What I got clear about was there was still that egoic feeling that I needed to blame somebody, find somebody, it's somebody's fault, somebody did something, blah 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 blah. All that is what, as a human experience, typically what we do. Look for someone to point fingers. Anyway, I got home, I got situated, and the more watched a little bit of the news, and then you end up with these filters again of everything that's already happened, right? A replay of people who've died, famous people, the things that have happened, the things that have been stirred up. It was political, it was racial, the news was just repeating this muck and mire, and I found I found myself doing what they say in England, a bit like throwing a wobbler, having a bit of a wobble. I got in my head like, why am I delivering a daily message, getting here in the morning, meditating? What is it for? Who is it for? And what in the F am I doing this for? Because it really, um, I don't know what to say. It seems like this cycle keeps going around and around and around and around and around. It's like a menacing merry-go-round we want to get off of. Okay, so we clean the slate, get real, get clear. That's my little bit of mess. There's a line I shared with a delightful client yesterday morning. Let your mess become your message. And that was what, thank you, I got goosebumps. In those moments of frustration, anger, that kind of murky stuff, there's a message up underneath it. But it comes from the mess, right? So anything we start that's new, that's different, that we want to enter into, there's this big intention and an expectation. Yep, going to do this. Everybody's got these fantastic expectations of what is to come, what they want to do, what they want to accomplish. Then there's the middle bit where we have to do the work. And in that work, in that middle piece, the center, it's messy. There's a point with which we want to throw our hands up and say, forget it, I've had enough. Let me walk away. You can all go do whatever you need to do. I'm done. What I now know is right up beyond it, that hill of muck, that pile of you know what, right up over the other side of it is where the magic happens. Because for there to be a breakthrough, for there to be something to come at the end of it, there has to be a breakdown. If we want more and we want new and we want different, we've got to say goodbye to, relinquish, let go of, and dump anything and everything that's in the way. Well, my friends, I'm sitting here this morning thinking, okay, what's my message going to be for 2021? And my thoughts went to, okay, let's just imagine we've already done it. Let's imagine that we're at January the 1st, 2022. What has 2021 been like? And I'll share with you some of the resolutions that I reminded you of yesterday. What resolutions are you bringing into play that you haven't resolved? And mine was financial security. So January the 1st, 2020, I vowed and declared that I wanted to be more debt-free, work on the debts, work on increasing income and getting that relationship, debt to income relationship, more in line, more balanced, right? And then here comes March. And we, hello, we're going to shut you down because you can't go out and be with people. Both forms of income, both streams of income. Oh, so there's an expectation, but now it took a turn. Fast forward, we get to the end of 2021, and again, it's this financial security. So I'm changing it, not so much debt to income ratio. Now it is, my goal is to be that, right? So where is the disconnect? Because if I'm sharing this with all of you and asking all of you to do some of this work, at least consider it. I have to be up for doing it too. So this is why I share the realness of the reality of, it's all very well for folks to stand there and be for personal development and personal growth and the kumbaya, and I love all that. I'm a big fan. Let's go. But my gosh, the work is ratchet. It's sometimes, oh Lord, it gets messy. And I kept thinking, well, why does this keep happening? What's this keep spin thing? It's a flow. Things flow in and things flow out. It isn't about not having any debt, right? Oh, I got clear on that real quick. It's about being grateful for it. So then when that message came, don't ask me where it comes from. I think it comes from spirit. How do you become grateful for owing money, right? How do you become grateful for owing money? How do you become grateful for the debt? Okay, so then I think, okay, well, without it, whether it's temporary, you charge something and then you pay it off at the end of the month. It's a flow. Without it, there's an awful lot of things, situations I couldn't have done. Filling up the car with gas, groceries, whatever that is, right? It gives me access for things, for, like, I run a business, and not every week, and the last two have been two of them, is there that regular flow. I have said for years, months, the last 2 weeks of December may as well not be possible. May as well take off and not work, because individuals have the same income coming in, but they're having to put it into many different places, and they have chosen and made priorities. Getting their hair done may not be a priority. Whatever that looks like. The priority is the giving month. So what I thought was, okay, I need to be grateful for the balances and the bills I've got, the debts I've got, if you will, right? Pay them off. Okay, that would make me feel a little more secure. So then why do I feel insecure? Oh, and it just kept floating down like that. This is how I see my way out of trouble. See my way to the other side, to let the mess become the message. So, okay, so if I'm repeating this pattern Now I'm getting to the point of, oh, okay, I'm grateful for all these people, creditors, whatever you want to call it, for extending me credit. Okay, I'm grateful. Thank you very much. So what's the problem? The problem is the fear. Oh, yeah, that's real. So what's the fear about? The fear is about this flow isn't coming. Oh, that's the fear. The fear is that it's not going to be enough. It's going to run out. And then I have this conversation like, well, you go tell them, these people, it's like putting the bucket in the ocean. There's always more, yet you don't believe it. Oh, Lord. And there's where the habits that we have, that we're doing, the human habits that we keep repeating, you have to get down into it and change it. Like, it isn't so much change the habit, because the habit's there. And if the habit, it's stuck in. So what makes a habit get stuck? Pretty much habit gets stuck literally neurologically in your brain it takes about 9 weeks to create a habit. Oddly enough, that's true. You do something on a regular basis and it creates this neuro pathway in your brain, and your brain just automatically goes and does it. So if you cycle around with this habit, and in this situation I'm talking about being financially secure, the habit is acting like I already am, being like it's already happening, instead of wishing it would, thinking it would, longing for it to. All right, so then we're doing that. Here's the other challenge. It isn't so much saying it, because we can all say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm financially secure, I am wealthy, healthy, whatever those affirmations, because we only affirm what we want to have happen. We don't affirm what's already there. We don't need to. But the problem is we don't quite believe it. That's it. How do you believe something that's not happened? Oh. You have to go a bit further, a bit deeper, and understand that everything happens in the time and the space and the place it's supposed to. So if it's not happening right now, this minute, you're not believing it ever will. That's the problem. We're living in the here and the now. We're dealing with where we are and what we've got. So it's hard for us in the here and now to believe that anything's going to change, that it's going to be different, it's going to be any different. So that's where we get stuck in that ditch of doubt and not believing it's possible. So let's get to the cards, because there was a moment I said, I'm not going to do these morning meditations anymore. Screw it. I'll just do something else. And then I realized, oh, there's something on the other side of it. There's something around the corner from it. There's something that somebody's getting. And then a beautiful dear friend of mine sent me a New Year's text saying, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. What you're saying is this and that. It was complimentary, and very quickly reminded me, okay, thank you, I'm doing it. We're back on track. Let's go. So here are the cards that I pulled, and it's not an accident. So the first one, now it's upside down, but this is what the Sister of the Seasons looks like. Right way up, right? And this card talks about cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. When it pops up as a challenge, the challenge card is saying, oops, you can't jump from winter to summer. There's 4 seasons that have to happen for the growth that starts in the spring, the nurturing and replenishment and harvesting and all that activity that happens in the summer, the laying down, the preparation for going into dormancy in the fall, and then the winter. So in the winter, the time of hibernation is the time to rest. It's the time to just put what you need to put into order. So when the growth happens, there's enough fodder, there's enough of a base, there's enough whatever you need, ingredients you need, gathering those things so that the growth period, the spring, watching that incredible amount of activity, and it's not long. It'll for here in this area, if you're thinking about organic growth, grass, trees, blossoms, here in about a month, you'll start to see the buds beginning to start to crack open the outside of that waxy shell. It's not long. So then I pulled from the angels and I looked at this card. Oops, there you go. Cut the cord. All right, so what does that have to do with the Sisters of Cycle? Sisters of the Seasons. Oh. There's something that I will say that Kyle Gray does on YouTube. If you're not familiar with Kyle Gray, it's kylegray.uk. Great angel whisperer. He's written 7 books. Delightful speaker. Does an awful lot of really good. Hi, Amy. Does an awful lot of really good work. Came up with these cards. He has a prayer that he does that I've repeated here. It's very simple. I don't mind giving a shout out to people who do great things and inspire me, because I think they deserve the shout out. I think they deserve to be acknowledged, and I will so do what they do if I believe it is useful and successful, and it has been. I think honesty, authentication, being truthful about who you are rather than trying to claim it for yourself is what we should all be doing. So cutting the cords. Okay, so what does that mean? It means chop off the negativity, release the ties that bind you to the thought process, the activities, the habits, cut them, dump them, remove them, get rid of them. Okay, that all sounds fantastic. What's the action plan? So we can start, like, for example, I can say, all right, one of the physical things I'd like to do is like health, right? There are 3 areas of everybody's life that they have to keep in check. Personal, you've got to get that balanced. Health, most definitely. And then career. Those 3 things, they're not independent, they work together. So, you know, without health, there's nothing, you can't do anything else. Personal, you really need to come from a personal space. If you're nurturing your personal, if you're nurturing your spirit, if you're nurturing the thing that you're here to do on earth, and you're balancing it and you're doing this work, personal growth work, that's great. And then there's a career. How are you carving your career? What does your career look like, especially now? So cutting the cords, what cords am I going to cut? Probably not surrounding myself with the naysayers. Likely looking at, most definitely, anything that I'm saying out of my mouth that is of somewhat judgment. So instead of using the words like, well, I'm confused, I might say, I'm curious. Instead of making a judgment call and out and out judging somebody negatively, I might be looking at it like, I'm just observing it. I'm just observing the situation, or this is my experience of what's happening now. My experience is this. I'm curious about that. It doesn't lead to they said this or they did that. And And stopping the negativity is, like I was saying yesterday, putting a control on waste. And that is wasteful spending. Oh, well, then that leads to, oh, before I want to go get something, I should ask myself, do I really need this? And if I need this badly, how's it going to benefit other people? If it isn't, well, what's the point of me spending the money on it? Done. There's a need and there's a want, and then there's something that's driving that energy. Cutting the cord is getting clear with what needs to be cut, what needs to be dumped, what needs to be shut off. And that means negative people, negative situations. For me, it is valuing my time. That's the personal. That leads to health. That makes me healthy. That means that, if there is a call to do something, okay, I need to see where that can be fit in. Because everybody has needs and they will push buttons. And if you're used to being a yes person, but yet underneath it, you're saying no, you've got to cut the tie that binds you to the need to say yes, to please other people. You can serve other people. That's different to pleasing other people. So for me, it is clearing up the mess, making the mess become the message, understanding, ooh, I got some work to do. The bigger piece of this, and we'll get to the meditation in a minute, is we talked about time, and I think that's why the Sisters of the Season came up. There we go. Right? To remind us. You can visualize, think about, and attract what you want pretty easily. Creative visualization is probably one of the most powerful tools we have in our arsenal. The one thing that cannot be removed from any of us is creativity. Creativity is in all of us. If you don't believe that you're creative, well, then you need to get with the program, because you are. On our own, we're pretty powerful people. Together with other people, we're all unstoppable. And if you notice, particularly when you're looking at protesting, whether it's peaceful or violent, protest is protest. A large gathering of people are up against something. When you look at what we're all about, it has to be to serve rather than to please. I always loved the quote that somebody made a long time ago that said, well-behaved women didn't get very far. I think it was a quote that came out of the suffragette movement. And I was reminded that, my gosh, 100 years ago, literally 100 years ago, women like Emily Pankhurst and her friends were forced to gather in tea rooms and people's parlors and wear those long, flowy dresses with corsets on to protest the fact that they weren't given rights. A woman could not vote, certainly could not go to work. 100 years ago. That's unheard of now. Now you have powerful women running companies, CEOs, powerful women representing states. They're up there in the House doing their thing. And some of those have taken their power a little bit too far. I won't get into that. I'll share something rather insightful and then we'll meditate. There's this new game show that come on. Well, it's not new, it's been on for a while. The Ellen hosts. I don't know what she calls it. But you see these reruns on TV, and I think maybe that's the tie that I have to cut, is watching so much damn television. At least it helps me to relax at night, but that subliminal mess that gets in there, no. I probably should pick up books and read them. She has this game show where these contestants sign up to, I don't know what exactly they do. I've never watched the thing all the way through. All I end up seeing are these little commercials where they've got women and men dangling off of rope or off of cords, what have you, and they plunge them into big vats of gloppy stuff. I don't understand it. Or they're asking them to go on some sort of obstacle course where this Ellen is controlling what happens. She's controlling whether it goes fast or slow, or and I thought people sign up for this, and when they drop into this vat of goop, or when they get the answers wrong, or when they're screaming and pleading, please don't drop me, whatever that is, Ellen is laughing along with all these other people. And I don't know whether I'm just a bit weird that way, but I'm like, okay, so to me this feels like you are being abusive on national TV and finding it funny. Something about that on some levels of my being feels like that's wrong. I don't know. I think it's human. I mean, why are shows like Game of Thrones so incredibly popular? Yes, it's fictitious. We know it's fake. Hunger Games. Gosh, those movies did so much. How is it then that it's in our psyche to find pleasure in the demise of other people, causing these folks to have to fight, to stand up, to protest? Think about that. I'm hoping, hand on heart, that we all consciously move forward from here and find the sunlight. But then I'm reminded that 1960s they did it. They were protesting the war in Vietnam, ridiculed for it. So how do we keep cycling around? You know, those folks in the South, equal rights, all of this. How are we back here? How is this continuing? So my hope, really, when you're serving a greater purpose, being in this amazing time that we're in, is let's foster this new earth. Let's use the tools that we have to empower each other, myself included. Let's hold ourselves accountable for understanding we're responsible for ourselves. We're responsible for what we do, what we say, and what we put out there. Yeah. Done. So, cut the cords. You don't have to chop up friendships, but if you've got a friendship that you feel like is, or a relationship, doesn't matter what, that's a bit negative, you don't necessarily have to have a conversation with the person. Just gently find ways to unwind and find something else. There's a way to be kind. There's a way to be polite. There's a way to be decent in when you're moving away. You're choosing something else. You're allowed to choose whatever you want to choose. Excuse me. All right, time to meditate. Thank you for letting me do that. Feet flat on the floor, eyes closed. This morning, start to connect with your breath. Bring your attention to your nostrils. That little area above your upper lip. As you breathe in, just have the experience in witnessing the air going in your nose. And coming back out. Breathe in through your nose. Let it cycle back out. bringing your attention and your focus to a place physically, to the present moment, to the now, to your environment, to your feet, to your seat, and allowing your mind to settle in. Lets the thoughts drift and flow. Thoughts and feelings are energies moving through your body. The practice of bringing yourself to your physical body in the here and the now and being aware, present, using your breath is the healthy way to nurture, nourish, and settle your central nervous system. The mind, your mind, my mind, must be at peace, relaxed, free of tension and stress. If the body is to rest and recover. Take your mind and your consciousness to the soles of your feet. In your mind's eye, picture the soles of your feet connecting with the earth below. Release and let go of any negative programming, thoughts, ideas, ideals. Absolutely everything that does not serve your highest good. Eliminate it. Allow the core of the earth, the crystalline layer at the very bottom, to take these thoughts, feelings, ideas from you. Now move your mind and your consciousness up. Allow your thoughts allow your consciousness to settle right in the area of your heart, right at your sternum. Inside you, the core of your being, is an internal flame, a light. that is the connecting point between you, the core of the earth, and the far reaches of the heavens, the stratosphere, up into the highest point. Allow this point of light, the center of your being, to be open through your breath. With every inhale, the energy of it expands. Begin to see this light encapsulating your chest, extending past your skin, so there's a halo around you. Know that this internal flame protects you, keeps you safe. Imagine that this flame, this energy, feels like the energy of the sunshine. Think of yourself as being nurtured and replenished. Every fiber of your being, every cell of your body is constantly being nourished and replenished and healed by this light. See this light as the energy of love, of the energy of joy. This is the energy of hope. You have the capacity to breathe and practice opening and extending, expanding your light, your energy, lifting your vibration. Use the natural ebb and flow of your breath, the natural ebb and flow of each day, each hour, each moment in your life as opportunities to flow and practice. With this energy of light, the energy of love, joy, peace, happiness, healing, all the goodness that's available to you, with their energy, the feeling of that energy, the being of that energy. Let it surround you and keep you, hold you and nurture you. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart centers. Acknowledge your commitment to this work. Acknowledge your commitment to this practice. Lift your thumb knuckles to your third eye center. Together we bow and say namaste. Thank you so much. I was trying to think of some references. There are on YouTube a number of creative visualizations, meditations for certain things you want to accomplish, meditations for sleep. If you're watching this on Facebook, there's a local woman in Charlotte known as Anne Welchins. She's a real estate agent by trade, but an amazing yoga teacher, instructor. Thanks, Megan. And she also has a yoga nidra practice, which she does online. Yoga nidra is an ancient practice that is so restorative. It nurtures the body. The premise of it is to do it at nighttime. It's like a nighttime meditation. I think she learned it from, Rob Stryker, who runs the founder of Power Yoga. Anyway, all these references, if this is the kind of work you like doing, it's where I've got my references from. It's where I continue dipping into. And eventually, what I would love for all of you is that this kind of flow of energy in and out becomes sort of second nature to you. And just like at the end, we bring our hands to prayer just to honor what we are and who we are and what we're about. And then, bringing your thumb knuckles to your third eye center, it is simply a way of seeing the light, the divine, the goodness in everyone else together. Sure, like I shared earlier today, there are going to be those ratchet moments. There's going to be those moments when, darkness knocks on the door. Sometimes we open the door to darkness and then, okay, once a good, get back up, dust yourself off. Don't sit in that super sadness. I don't know how that helps. Be sad, yes, it's a real emotion. But sitting there in it that's then becomes not a good place. All right, my friends, I will be back here again tomorrow morning, which will be Saturday, the 2nd of January. I'm going to nurture the rest of the day. I'm going to clean, do some laundry, cuddle up the dogs. I might share a picture of my puppy, Emma Grace, who is 8 months old. What's this? This time really lays a good foundation for my day. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. It makes me then say, yes, I'm going to do this more. Here's what I need, though. This is the other part of, I got to get it out there. And YouTube, this big platform, right? And if you've got another way for me to be able to do this, let me know, because I am what I call social media nerd, a technical nerd. I'm having to learn this the hard way, which is fine. I'm up for it. But YouTube have this weirdness. They let you set up a channel, which I've done. And in the channel, you got playlists, which I've done. And there are different subjects of what I do. But in order to get an easier way to find it for complete strangers everywhere, you have to have a certain number of subscribers. I hate it. I feel like, okay, a bit like a cyber prostitute going out there saying, click the like and subscribe. But now I know why. Now I know why people do it, because they give you a URL, which is basically a way for you to type in the name that you want to call your platform, the slash, and it's YouTube, and people can find it easily. Otherwise, if they were to go to YouTube and look up Kevin Cross, they're going to get a smattering of people that's not me. I like the fact that a lot of people have my name, but it doesn't help if you're searching. And what I know about human nature, if they can't find it on the second to third try, there's not a fourth. So how do you do that? If you're watching this on Facebook Live, perfect. Here's the other thing. If you want to share it, go to the YouTube piece, copy the link or the URL, dump that in an email. Let people go to YouTube to watch it, and hopefully they'll like, subscribe, and do all that. I feel a little ratchet asking. It's why I don't put these bloody graphics up. Like and subscribe, because it almost feels like desperation. But what I now know is this is useful information. I heard no laundry on the first. Oh, it washes away the blessings. Oh, Mallory, this is so cool. I never knew that. You can comment on others, like your page, then support one. Okay, yes. Thank you. Yes. I agree with all you're saying. Totally. All right, I gotta go. I won't do laundry, Mallory. Thank you. I won't. I promise. And I'll bring you another message tomorrow. This has been great. It's so helpful. I love you all. Have a great new year. Do something that nurtures your soul and nourishes your body. Bye.